welcome. You're watching Financial Planner, the show where we take complex financial concepts and break them down into easy, digestible bits. My name is Smriti Rao. Today I'm in conversation with Certified Financial Planner Sumit Vaid. We'll be going through emails and then picking a few out to talk about a couple of viewers' portfolios, what's working for them, what's not working for them. If you'd like to be part of the show, we'd love to hear from you. You can always email us at financialplanner@utvmoney.com. If you miss the show, you can always catch it online at utvmoney.com or on my Facebook page at facebook.com/Smriti Rao. So let's get started with Ashwin's email. And Ashwin, in fact, is 30 years old. He's unmarried. And he says he's earning about 6.5 lakhs a year. And he also has an education loan for which he pays 8,500 every month. Apart from that, his expenses come to about 20,000 or so per month. He has a term plan, he has insurance, and he also has a lot of money stashed away in mutual funds and also ULIPs. But he wants to know, with all of this out of the way, how do I go about achieving my financial goals? And then he lists them. One of them, of course, is to buy a house. Where? In Mumbai. In what time? Maybe in about 5 years' time or so. But let's find out from Sumit if what concrete steps Ashwin can take to achieve his goals. So Sumit, welcome, and let's start talking about Ashwin. Looking at his portfolio and sort of seeing where he's put his money, what do you make? 30 years, does he seem set? Because he seems to have money stashed away in many investments. He also has insurance, and we keep talking about how important it is. So what are your initial thoughts about his portfolio?
Thanks a lot, Smriti, for getting me on the show again. It's a pleasure. It's a January, February, March quarter, the tax planning season of India.
Right. Yeah.
So today you'll find me attacking this tax planning myth in various ways. Don't see that if I go here and there, but I'm trying to educate the investors that whenever you do financial planning, first do financial planning and then do tax planning. Don't do the other way around.
Okay.
So that's the filter for today's show.
Okay.
And that's the core advice which I will be going. In Ashwin's case, if you really go and look at, I'll ask you certain questions. What's his income?
His income is 6.5 lakhs a year.
Okay. Now, to all our viewers who send us queries, always tell us the post-tax income. And we are, so that we can really do justice to the advice. So in this case, we are assuming, Ashwin, that this is your pre-tax income, and we'll cut 30% out of it for ease of calculation and come to a post-tax income. So 6.5 lakhs, cut your 30% tax, I think approximately 40,000 rupees a month. Fair, Smriti, that's fair for us?
I think it's a rounded off figure. 40,000 would work.
It's a good one to work on, yeah? Okay. How much is he saving currently?
Well, he says he's saving 12,000 rupees per month.
And where exactly do you think he's saving as per his data?
Well, he doesn't really tell us how much he's paying in rent, but the sort of idea we get is that his expenses is 20,000. And he also has that EMI for an education loan, which is 8,500.
Okay.
So, working with that, we'd say that he's saving about 12,000.
Okay, so here's the next point. First one is give us post-tax income. The second one is income minus expense is savings, right? Savings is not investment. Savings is purely a thing which you have saved after you get income, you spend expenses, rest of the amount is saving. So in this case, if we see we have approximately 28,000, which we come to a conclusion because he's told us that he has a saving of 12,000 and rest is all expenses, 28,000. 8,500, which is his EMI for education loan, must be included as part of expenses.
Right, so now it goes away every month.
True, it goes away every month. The point which we want to make out here is, till the time you don't convert savings into investments, you're not going to beat inflation as a concept. So all our viewers who are watching us, always try and convert savings into investments, and the best way to do that is have a defined goal, have a defined term period, have a defined return in mind, and understand that there is risk with this.
To your point about, savings is not investment. So if you have a large sum of money lying in a bank account, that's not an investment, and those savings don't really have any value.
Completely
because tomorrow when you actually need it and you take out the money, you'll realize that your money is really not worth anything because you go to the market to buy vegetables, it's super expensive because inflation will catch up with you.
True. So the best way to convert savings to investment is, and easiest is, get a certified financial planner, go and write a financial plan for you, and in that financial plan start by asking what is important to you in life. It's about life. It's not about finance. It's very important to understand. You are here to live and enjoy your life, not to make maximum returns. So that's the point which we wanted to highlight is, and now based on the data which we have, we have a surplus of close to 20,000 rupees,
Right.
which this gentleman has, which we need to now articulate how can it help him in his goal of buying a home in Bombay in 5 years, right? He's having 1.5 lakh rupees in ULIP and mutual funds. So our assumption is that mutual funds are open-ended mutual fund because we don't have data. Because they are open-ended, they are liquid. He can redeem it any point of time. The second 1.5 lakh, our assumption is ULIP, and our assumption again is that this ULIP was done to save tax. So again, because it's a January, February, March quarter, I'm highlighting, do not go and save your money just to save tax. That's a wrong way of doing it.
Right.
Have a financial plan and a goal, and then try and see if that instrument helps you in saving tax. Now, problem with this is, I think this is long-term investment, so savings which he has done, we cannot touch it. We cannot take that money out. So currently, the liquidity for this gentleman is only 1.5 lakh rupees. So what he needs to do in any situation to go and buy a housing loan is to create a first down payment corpus.
Right, because the last minute you'll find yourself scrambling and finding that the bank will only give you X amount of money,
True.
and the other X, the Y amount, you have to cough up, and if you
True.
haven't planned for it,
True.
then you don't have that cash.
True. So now the goal is to buy a house or a home in Mumbai. Time duration is 5 years, and let's say he's mentioned about his parents, so he's looking at a 2-bedroom hall kitchen in Mumbai. Average price as of today will be in region of 30 to 70 lakhs. That's the broad range in Mumbai from which area you want to be. So thumb rule, we are just taking for the sake of calculation a 50 lakh house, which he
Right.
wants to buy in next 5 years.
Right.
And he needs to save at least 30% of that as down payment. So that means he needs to have a corpus of 15 lakhs there with him in next 3 to 5 years before he takes the decision of buying a home. So that's the purpose which you need to do that. And the way to accumulate that amount, do not put all your eggs in one basket. Use mutual funds, use fixed deposits of banks because you're getting good interest rates, good fixed maturity plans, and have that particular target. Do not put that money in insurance.
So-
Never invest in insurance.
Basically, you're saying your first goal should be for that 15 lakhs,
That's
try
right.
and start squirreling away as much money
True.
as you can. And because equities give you good returns, and also now, especially with the interest rate regime being the way that it is, we're
Yep.
getting good returns on our FDs. Put some money in your FD and
True.
then see it grow. How much money should he stack away every month? Looking at his income, his expenses, that education loan, how much money would be enough money for 15 lakhs?
First point, do not look at equity as an asset class for this particular goal. 3 to 5 years, too short period. And the purpose of this goal is to plan for down payment for house, which is very important. You cannot take risk to delay that further. So no investments in equity in this. Okay. Secondly, if you really look at his savings, he's sitting on a savings of close to 22,000 as we calculated, or 20,000, after paying his education loan. Now, this 20,000 needs to be invested in a way on a monthly basis which will help him create a corpus of 15 lakhs as soon as possible.
Okay.
But first and foremost, he needs to understand that 1.5 lakh which he has, that he should not touch because that's an emergency plan. That's a resource which he needs to keep always stashed away. In case of some unforeseen emergency, he needs to plan out, he needs to take care of. So that's an emergency. Other than that, he needs to accumulate 15 lakhs. And going by 20,000, that means he's accumulating in a year approximately 2 to 2.5 lakhs. That
Right.
means, it's 6, 7. I think 5 years is a good period because his income will also grow, his saving potential will grow. In 5 years, he'll be able to generate it. Right now, because interest rate regime is very good, do look at fixed deposits of the bank. Do look at fixed maturity plans of the, mutual funds. You have 3 to 5 years. This is a good time to get into long-term fixed income funds.
Right, right.
It might be volatile, but it's a good time to get into fixed income mutual funds. Do not look at equity in this.
Okay, do not look at equity. Start stashing away money for that 15 lakh down payment.
True.
20,000 should be enough. So basically, just sort of be really frugal and save everything that you have at this point and put it away towards that down payment for the house. Quick word on his education loan. He's still putting 8,500 per month.
Yeah.
Is there? I know there's no way out of it,
Yeah.
but any word on how he can speed up that process? Do you think he should close the education loan first and then focus on the home loan?
No, I don't think so. I think this is a good question you're asking, and we need to clarify to our viewers. There are two kinds of loan, good loan and bad loan. Housing loan and education loan is a good loan. And the reason for that is that in housing loan, when you buy an asset, in most of the chances, not always, your asset price goes up. That means your house value goes up. So it's a good loan, You have bought, it's not. When you buy a car and you buy it on a loan, as soon as you walk out of car showroom, your car value goes down.
Yeah.
Bad loans.
Yeah.
Personal loan, bad loans. Loans for stocks and investments, very bad loans. Never speculate based on that. Education also is a good loan. Because what you have done, you have used that money to go and get a professional education. Your value in market goes up, you get a better salary, so you're investing in yourself. You as an asset price is going up. Good loan. spread it long.
So
Do
it's
not
okay.
hurry
So
it
you're
up.
saying there's really no need to hurry up, despite
need
the
to hurry
fact
up.
that it might eat into your money a little bit and maybe give you sleepless nights about the quantum of the loan. But it's okay to have it
Very okay.
for a longish period of time.
Smriti,
All right.
you never know. He's at this level because of that education loan.
Probably,
So
yeah.
that's an
If it's
asset.
an MBA or it's
Yeah.
a good school degree, then probably.
That's an advice to everybody else. In fact, we advise to a lot of our clients, when you plan your children's education, do not get emotional and sentimental that I'll put in 100% money of myself. Be open to taking loans. These are good.
Yeah.
In all Western markets, education loans are good loans. And even in India, there is a company known as Credila,
Right.
which specializes only in education loans. There are good options available. And whatever money then you are using for education out of your assets, plan your retirement. Don't get emotional. Don't say, my retirement is my son. Wrong way to do it. Your retirement is yourself.
All right, and be open to the idea of education loans because those
True.
are good loans.
Very
All right,
true.
let's take a quick break right now. When we come back, one more email. This is PK Gupta. He's a government servant and he's retiring soon. He has a couple of questions about his retirement. We'll talk about that with Sumit after this.